Hello everyone, Justin here, and today we are going to draw a butterfly. So first of all, we're going to go ahead and draw a slight curve going down to what will be the body. Let me just make that a little bit darker, and then we'll do a corresponding one on the other side. So here's our middle where the body will be. So let's go ahead and draw another curved line that goes out to the side. It would be nice if this was perfectly symmetrical, but I'm not gonna worry about it, and you shouldn't either. So let's go ahead and from here go down a little bit and draw a line going across, and then this one slightly going down, and then from here we'll draw a slight curve going down to meet this line. Do the same with here. From this corner we'll go down to meet that horizontal line. So now from here we're going to draw the body, which is, let's draw the head, and this whole area is pretty much going to be black. So let's just make a pointy V right here to show where the wing's gonna meet the body. So from here we're gonna draw two lines going down, which separates the lower wings, and then from the middle of this line right here we're gonna draw a curved line that goes down this way, like so, and on the other side as well. So let's look at what we've drawn so far. From here to here would be right about here, so we know where to go with our lines. So from here we're going to meet that point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw a curved line that connects these two lines. So let's do this, and same here, just a curved line, and those are going to be the basic shapes of our butterfly wings. So now let's refine these lines a little bit. So let's just start with the left wing here. So this upper wing will actually go out a little bit, curve in and down. Okay, and then this corner here will be slightly curved and going across. So this lower wing will actually overlap the upper wing. So let's just make that a little bit darker, like that. And let's go back to the upper wing again. Let's draw a line that's sort of parallel to this outer line, like that, going in a little bit, and then another line that's a little bit farther away from this line. Okay, so from here let's go ahead and draw a line that goes and meets this line. And now we can draw some of the patterns here. So there's one line here, a second line, and a third line. So now we can connect these three lines together. So basically what we have here are these three sort of roundish rectangles. So then let's go ahead and add these small rectangles, almost an extension of these two here that go this way, and then we'll draw a round or an oval and another one here and a couple small ovals right there. And these are the white spots that vary from butterfly to butterfly. But all of this area here then in between these ovals will be dark. Okay? So now in this area here, there's going to be a lot of these kind of irregular white spots. So basically 2 rows of these white spots, and they can vary. They don't have to be round, they don't have to be exactly oval, but just kind of random, somewhat different sizes. Some are pretty small, like right here and here. Let's just draw a bunch of them here. Okay, now these are more obvious, but we can draw a smaller one here that's pretty thin. Okay, so now about midway here, from here to here, let's start right here. Let's draw a curve that's opposite of this curve. So it's gonna go this way. And let's just make that a little bit thicker. And then this area will be divided into 3. But first let's make this part wider. So now we'll draw 3 lines, or 2 lines, that separate basically this area into 3 sections. Let's draw the bottom pattern. Just like here, we're going to draw a parallel line to this outside, just so we know roughly where we're going to be drawing all these little white dots. So for this pattern, let's draw first long, kind of pointy oval right in the middle, and then from this oval we're going to draw a line that goes out to this line, and then another one, and another one, maybe starting from the middle down, and then another one closer from the body, again down, radiating basically down this wing, and another one going down this way. So let's add another line over here like that, and we can draw another line right here. So now we can make these lines a little bit thicker, and I'll just go ahead and switch over to my darker pencil here and just make these lines a little bit thicker than what they are now. And this can really vary in thickness. And it's usually pretty irregular, so I'm gonna just try to make this somewhat irregular. And the thicker parts tends to be closer to this oval, so I'm gonna start this particular line a little bit thicker, and then it becomes thinner as it meets this outer section. So again, we'll do the same thing here. And then this one we can make a little pretty thin. So we're gonna go ahead and draw some random circular and or oval shapes here. Pretty irregular, kind of different directions as well. So now what we're going to do here is, instead of making this perfectly curved here, we're actually gonna square out these open areas. So let's say this is squared off there, and then this one come down and then square it off, so it's a little bit angular, and then this one like that, again sort of angular, and this one, let's say it meets this line here, so it's irregular, and then there. So now everything that doesn't have a circle here will be shaded dark. So I'll go ahead and just do that. And what we're also going to do is make this edge very irregular. So go like this, maybe in a bit and then out, make it irregular, and then it goes back to a curve, nice curve. So I'll go ahead and keep shading this in and leaving the white spots just plain. Another way to do this would be to make all of this whole area dark and then use a white pen to mark these dots or these white spots. So I'll be doing the same thing up here and just fill in all the areas between the white spots. And again, I'm going to make the edge of the wing somewhat irregular and then rounding it off here and making this part smooth. So up here, see these irregular shapes? We're also going to have an irregular light area here. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw it like this so that this part right here would be dark, and then make this part dark again with a light spot right there. Okay. Alright, so here's the rest of the wing. So again, this part is light, and I'll be doing the same thing with this side of the wing. So let's just darken all these areas. So in the process of making these areas black, you will actually make these white spots irregular, which is what we want, unless you're like really careful to make it perfectly oval or round, which is not what we really want. So here we go. Let's make the lines in between the lighter areas a little bit thicker again. So these lines up here, we're actually not going to make it as dark as these other areas, as here. Like right here, it's a little bit dark, but then I'm going to lighten it up a bit here. So it's more of a mid-tone. Okay. And same with this particular line right here. Not too dark, but this part up here will be dark. So let's do that. Okay, I drew a white spot here, and I'll go ahead and just add another white spot right there. Every butterfly is different, and they're going to have patterns that are similar but not exact. So I'm going to just darken the head. Right here. And the body, which is right here. And now I'm going to go ahead and do this wing. The way I'm going to draw this wing will be slightly different. Instead of looking at each of these lines, which then determines the shape of these lighter areas, what I'm going to do for this right wing is actually look at these white areas and draw those in. So there's an oval, and then off the oval you have these longer rounded rectangles. So say like there, and then another rectangle here. Remember, we're keeping this area here wider for where we're going to be putting the dots, and then another rectangle down here, sort of following the mirror image of this, making a mirror image of that. So then up here again we have these three rectangles. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw a thin one up here and just roughly draw in those three. Okay, so now we have these small rectangles, so I'll draw those in, and then some ovals and white spots, I'll draw those in. So just like here, I'll go ahead and draw random circles and ovals and irregular shapes all along the edge of the wing. And it goes down here. So let's go ahead and do this area, the lower wing. Again, irregular edge, same with here. Let's go ahead and make that somewhat irregular now. Just like up here, I'm going to draw the pattern down here based on the white areas, the light areas. But first I'm gonna roughly draw in my border, my thick border. So again, we're gonna have this long almond shape that goes down the middle, right there. And then on either side of this point, we've got these shapes that go down. One there, and another one here. Okay, so then we have this long one here. Follow these lines, draw the end, and then go back towards the body. And finally, one more, which is this one, like that, and then we'll leave this area light and here. Okay, same with here. We'll draw the white area here, the light area, and I'm not trying to make it perfectly symmetric, a mirror image of this side as far as the shape either. So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and draw these spots, white spots down here. Doesn't have to be exact. So just like here, I want to vary the ends of these light areas. So maybe I'll go there and then make this a little bit more square. And I'll go ahead and start darkening these areas between these light shapes. So these essentially are the lines that we drew here. Just like here, I'm going to make these lines, the shading right here, somewhat lighter, but dark around the edges of the wing, like right here. Okay, so with this butterfly, I'm going to go ahead and shade a lot of these areas, and I'm just going to use light strokes going towards the body, like this. I'm going to keep these dots all around the perimeter of the wing white, so I won't touch those. But I'll go ahead and shade most of the wing and just use my finger to kind of blend it in. And I'll do the same on this side. If you're using a regular pencil, you could use the side of your lead to shade this a little bit faster. And I'll go ahead and do the same for this area here. And I'll keep the direction this way actually. Now here I'm gonna follow the length, the direction of the rectangle. And then here again I'm gonna follow the main direction of this long oval to shade it. And then here again I'm following the long length of the rectangle. Okay, so just like at the bottom, I will go ahead and kind of blend this in a bit. Same here. Okay, now up here, these are all white right here, but there will be a white section for this particular rectangle, and same here. I'm going to leave this part white, but these other rectangles or shapes I'm going to shade. Again, I'm going to leave this white and I'm going to shade the rest, just like I did for the rest of the wing. Okay. Alright. So now that I've shaded, I'm going to just go ahead and touch up these lines a little bit, make it a little bit more clear, because when I shaded it with my finger it kind of blurred it a bit. Finally, I'm going to finish the lower part of the body, which goes kind of down here, and this can be irregular as well, and I'm just going to leave this somewhat more gray, and maybe some cross lines here just to suggest some texture, so it's not just one flat gray area. And then finally we'll draw the antenna, so make the ends a little bit thicker, and then irregular line that goes to the head. Same here. Make the end of the antenna a little bit thicker, and then it thins out to the head. So there you go. There's the drawing of a butterfly. Definitely not one of the easier drawings you'll do with a lot of detail, but if you take your time, you'll be able to draw this without any problem. Thanks for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.